Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
You're the famous Yoshi Lomax.
I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax.
Probably more infamous. I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Starr. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuznetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Hanju.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh, my God, you're such a good...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem. You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look. She killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunt.
Chastity, the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, hip-hop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control.
I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you.
Thank you!
And I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all 3 away, and he becomes desperate.
So what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe.
Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it! Save it!
I get no auditions. I'm gonna stop you right there. I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now, they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies. In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage.
What are you doing?
But if you follow my blueprints, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holla. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation been my only motivation, yeah.
Up, y'all, this is Rayon Lawrence, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director and the Council on the IE Network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Rita Park. You're listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. What's going on, people? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. Real Talk, baby. Yeah, Real Talk. And we'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. Real Talk brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media. And we broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV. The IE Network, the home of independent entertainment network. See how that works. And of course, broadcasting live to you on Facebook, aka Meta, and Twitter. So yeah, happy Monday, Manic Monday. As of right now, isn't the Monday Night Football game going on already? I think it is. And shout out, congratulations to the Giants and the Giants fans that beat my Vikings. Oh, God. Ugh. But it is what it is, man. I actually not surprised. The Vikings, as good as their record has been, they haven't been as good as their record this year. And, yeah, so there you go. So shout out to New York. New York is my hometown, my place of birth. But I never was a Giant fan. Obviously, I'm a Vikings fan. So, yeah, I'm a little sick right now. I'm got a little rehab going on, but it is what it is. Life goes on and we move on. We're happy and blessed to be here. The only good silver lining to this is maybe now we'll fire that defensive coordinator. But anyway, I believe the Monday Night Football game is going to be the Bucs versus the Cowboys. So we'll see what happens there. I think that's already on, but we'll probably bring up a screen and follow it as the show goes on. It's award season, people. We've already had 2 award ceremonies since the last time you were with us. So we're going to recap and go over some of that stuff going forward. and what's to come, some predictions, things like that. All sorts of other stuff to talk about on today. Trending topics, things that are going on right now. The Guardians of the Galaxy. They've been, been talking a little more information about Adam Warlock. That's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So that should be cool. We welcome our viewers coming in from the group, and one of the 2 or 3 Facebook groups that we also broadcast to at the same time, simultaneously. And our Twitter viewers are now on live. So, welcome. Welcome. Shout out to the chat room, of course. Joseph Tanner, always got to give you props, holding down the chat room as you always do. Welcome back. For those of you who are new to the show, as you come into the door, please smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. So anyway, we got some stuff we're going to go over today. Mostly award season stuff, but we definitely got some trending topics, things to get into. Not too many things went on over the weekend as far as movies go. I'm sure some more people probably went to see Avatar. We'll check it out on the weekend recap right now. It's brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com. Weekend recap for the weekend of January 13th through the 15th. Number 5 is the movie Plane, which is the movie looks good, but the title sucks. It was just like, that title sounds like they were sitting in the marketing room like, now what should we call this? What should we call this? And they were just probably like, you know what? After 50, then you cut to 15 hours later, SpongeBob voice. Then it's like, you know what? Just call the damn movie Plane because I gotta go home. I gotta get out of here. That's what it just seems like. Like what? Let's call it Plane. Plane? Yeah, Plane. Not not Sesame Seed, not just Plane. Not egg. So I'm just not everything, just Plane. So we either call it Plane. That made 10.3 million over the weekend. A Man Called Otto made 12.8 million. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, made 14.4 million over this weekend. Okay, cool. Megan, 18.3 million. So Megan is now up to a worldwide total of $94 million. $94.4 million. Good job, Megan. It made 60 million domestic. So people went out to see this film, which is cool, especially for like a horror film. It's making some decent numbers. And of course, Avatar: The Way of Water made another $32.4 million. Which now brings their worldwide total to $1.9 billion. So, and they go, they're well on their way to touching that $2 billion. And most of that, but the funny thing is, once again, most of that money, and we'll talk about this too. Me and Kev got a little theory about how you wonder how is making all this money, and my reviews that I've heard on it and reviews that I have on it. I mean, I don't like Avatar movies. Everyone knows that. But not too many people make any reference to the story. They're just like, oh, it looks great. It looks great. It looks great. It's very beautiful. It's very stimulated visually. I'm just like, well, we knew that. What do y'all think of the story? Because we know the story. But anyhow, it's about to make $2 billion. But a lot of that money is international. We'll get into that. going forward. But, congratulations to Avatar people and all of the cast and crew is doing their thing, and it's all good. So good for y'all. And that is your weekend recap for today. Gwen Russell's in the building. Y'all, I'm seeing people from my childhood. That's what's up. We appreciate you, Gwen. We appreciate you. Good evening to you. I'm going to say it in my Blackula voice. Good evening. No, that's sorry. That's not Blackula. That's Mama Waldy. He was. Oh man, Blackula was one of my favorite movies back in the day. But anyway, it's Martin Luther King birthday or observation of Martin Luther King holidays. Now it's a actual holiday. So what do we say? Happy Martin Luther King Day, I guess. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But hey man, if you had off today, very cool. I hope you did. Because it ain't a true holiday unless you had off. Or at least had the option to take off. I mean, black folks, I used to, years ago, I worked at this company, I used to take off Martin Luther King Day regardless. I'm like, I'll take it off Martin Luther King Day. All of a sudden, I become the blackest man on the planet. Martin Luther King Day, I'm taking off. Now it's like, it's a holiday, so that's a good thing. We fought for that. So, yeah, man. So it's Martin Luther King. Yeah, it's funny. Is it time for? This is just kind of like a loaded question, but it might even be rhetorical. Is it time for another Martin Luther King movie? I don't know. Somebody was talking to me about. Someone texted me and asked me what did I think was a Martin Luther King, the best Martin Luther King or depiction of Martin Luther King. And they asked about Selma. I've no more Martin Luther King movies. I agree with you. I agree with you. Selma was good. All right. And good evening to you, Miss K. What's going on? Like I said, I'm seeing people from back in the day. I appreciate y'all just popping in, say what up. Before you leave, though, smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. You don't even have to hit the little. If you hit the little bell, that's when it like sends you out stuff. You don't want to be bothered with notifications. That's okay. Subscribe anyway. Selma was great. I had my issues with David Oyelowo only because sometimes, just a little bit, my Robert De Niro voice. Yep, just a little bit. That accent came out just a little bit sometimes. And that's the only problem I had with David Oyelowo. He did a fantastic job. Of course, the movie was written well, was done well. I loved it. Was from that perspective, story was awesome. David Oyelowo was awesome, but sometimes that accent came out just a little bit. So that's my Robert De Niro voice. Yeah, he insulted him a little bit, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing. Other than that, it was there. It was coming in and out. Just like you said. Yeah, the accent was in and out. Exactly. That was just a little. They were saying that about Anna what's her name? Anna de Armas, who played Marilyn Monroe in the film Blonde, which actually was not a bad film. I watched it. I didn't think I would, but I've watched previous Marilyn Monroe, people playing Marilyn Monroe, and actually she was actually good, but there was a couple of times, not her. She has a very deep accent, but it wasn't that bad. But every now and then it would slip out a little bit. it's tough to do when you're not American and you're doing this American accent. And I mean, these foreign actors are great at doing them, but you know, I guess sometimes you just slip in that same thing when the American actors are doing British accents and stuff like that. Some of them are just, most of them are really bad. You know, like Don Cheadle was terrible. He tried to do like a Cockney accent, and it was like he was awful. Like he was bad. And I'm terrible with accents. I can't do accents at all, man. It's just bad. But but yeah, I say my favorite. Back to the Martin Luther King. I actually like the old school one, the one that was on television all the time with Paul what was his name? Paul Winters? What was his last name? Paul Winfield? That was his name, I think. That was I liked him as King. I thought he was really good. Maybe because it's what I grew up on. But I did like that. I did Winfield. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. And Paul Winfield. He was I liked him. I liked him as King. Not that I didn't like David Oyelowo. But I did enjoy Paul Winfield's version of King. And that was the old school, like I said, that was the old school version. That was, I think it was, I used to see it on TV. I don't know if it was a made for TV movie. I don't think it was an actual motion picture. It was a made for TV movie or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's all good, man. So we all celebrate Martin Luther King. That's what's up. And I saw one of my chat room, Joseph Tanner was like, and let's not ruin Martin Luther King Day with when there was an impersonation on Crank Yankers voiced by Wanda Sykes. That's funny. Well, there was also an impersonation. There's a lot of impersonations, but there was an impersonation voiced on the show The Boondocks, which was hilarious. I'm sorry if you have ever watched that show The Boondocks, go look for the episode that's called Return of the King. And that is the one where they had Martin Luther King. He didn't actually die when he got shot. He was in a coma for like 40 years or something like that. And then he comes out, and you just go watch it. I can't even explain it because it's not funny explaining it. You have to watch it and see how Aaron McGruder, the creator of the Boondocks, how he picked all of this and how he sees things. So it was pretty interesting. But we also, like I said, so we're gonna get some award show stuff going on, covering award season. But we want to do some trending topics as we go along. But first, I'm going to introduce to you my Jedi Council, at least one half of them. We're waiting on Ralph. Kev's in the building, though. Kev, what's going on, brother, man? Welcome back.
And it's happy birthday, Martin Luther King. Why everybody keeps saying Martin Luther King Day? It's not Martin Luther King Day. It's Martin Luther King's birthday.
That's what people
keep actual saying birthday. To me. He was born January 15th, 1930. No, 1920. Somewhere between 1928 and 1930. Martin Luther King was born.
I thought you were gonna say somewhere between 1929 and 1930.
yeah.
Like no, well, that's what it is.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's what it is. It's 19. Somebody correct me, but I think it's 1929.
Right. So that's the proper way. You just say
he was born. He was born. Yeah. That's the whole reason why the whole reason why we got the Happy Birthday song by Stevie Wonder is when his birthday got signed into law. Stevie Wonder made that song.
That song, I remember that song. That's an old song though.
That's from the Hotter Than July album.
I remember that now. Yeah, but yeah. Which everyone seems to just take that and use it for black folks. We take it and use it for everything now. When it's somebody, it could be anybody's birthday.
That became our birthday thing. So when they
Yes,
did
I
that,
do
that was a wrap.
That was it. So they're like, "Oh, happy birthday!" Everybody just use that now. That's the new birthday anthem for Black folk. Just like how we, after the Best Man came out, everybody started doing the electric slide to "Tastes Like Candy."
No, we were doing it before. We were doing it before the Best Man. We were doing
Cameo.
Yeah,
that we were doing it to that. I mean, I always remember doing it to.
You gotta remember the electric slide has been out since the late 1980s.
No, I know that, but I mean, like, even when I just remember people's doing it. Like, I'm recalling more so because I shot a lot of weddings, so I'm recalling weddings because before the Best Man came out, I just used to see people dancing to doing the electric slide to the electric slide song.
We did it. We did it to everything.
And I was like, well, I know that, but like at weddings, they're like, okay, let's get it going. The DJ would play it, and they get their little line dancing.
Line up, yeah.
But then wedding DJs, I noticed started using that song more so. Wedding DJs at black weddings, let's just get this straight, would use that song because the electric slide plays at all types of weddings. It plays at everything except maybe bar mitzvahs. That's not a wedding, but except maybe I don't know, Jewish weddings. I've shot a couple of Jewish weddings. I've never seen the electric slide done. But everywhere else, I've shot Latin weddings and white people, Asian. I saw a couple of people. They do the electric slide and all of them. So, but I noticed shooting the wedding, DJ would play the electric slide, then he'd go into the cha-cha slide and whatever, all the slides, right? And then they would come back, but now they changed it and was like, I noticed this was after 1999 when the Best Man came out. A lot of weddings they started using Cameo Candy because and I can see people doing it before then because that song is old. You know what I'm saying? Like that song, with them playing it even in 1999. I mean, Cameo had made that song way before then.
No, Candy came out in 87.
Yeah, exactly.
87.
Almost 10 years. Actually, more.
Actually, because I was in high school when Candy came out. Now that I think about it, I was in 10th grade, so it had to be. It had to be like 87.
Right.
Yeah, it had
so
to be like
that's
86,
over.
87.
That's over 10 years before the Best Man. So I'm sure people in real life were doing it like that. But I mean, I'm just saying how people kind of started doing that at their weddings a little bit. So that's what's up. I haven't heard from Ralph. I don't know if Ralph was coming home.
Yeah, I know why Ralph ain't called.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I just did the weekend recap, and let's go back to that. So Avatar: The Way of Water, and it's made, as we know, $1.9 billion. Here's an interesting stat, and I can share the screen if people don't believe me. Okay, 1.3 billion of that 1.9 billion is international funds. 69.9% of the total gross is international, not here. Not domestic. It's domestic wise, it made $572 million. I think after our talk earlier offline or off air, that makes a lot of sense to me because, as we know, as you pointed out, they are really pushing hard and selling a lot with the 3D IMAX, experiences. And the foreigners, international, they love those type of experiences. They love them.
Well,
Those movies, those
they
type of
show.
movies, they do well over there. They do well over wherever internationally.
Well, especially if you show a cheesy commercial on a TV that's not built for 3D, and especially with somebody who doesn't know better, and they got their TV in sports mode, so you're looking at this thing and you're like, is that supposed to be 3D? That looks like trash. I wonder what it's going to look like if I really see it with the glasses on, or if I see it in IMAX. I can do without it.
Yeah, it's funny. So, but like I said, though, after we spoke and I looked up these numbers, it all started to click to me. Yeah, that's why the international numbers are so high and the domestic numbers are so low. Because there's probably a lot of people over here that feel the way you feel when they saw the commercial. They probably was like, I ain't gonna see that.
No, people. No, it's the opposite actually of what I thought. Like I explained to you earlier, when I was looking for me to get tickets to go. I was supposed to go to the movies today, but I didn't go. And the reason why I didn't go because there was too many people in the movie theater for me. And that was across the board. And I guess because it was Martin Luther King's birthday, I guess people, figured, day off, kids are out of school, let's go to the movies. But 80% of every theater that I checked, and I checked I checked Roosevelt Field, Rockville Center, and Levittown, the three biggest here on Long Island. And all three of them, their early morning screenings for that show was pretty much 80% sold out. And then when you clicked over to the 2D showing, and that's the other thing too, they did this so slick, and they knew what they were doing, because they also, the other thing they did was the other screenings for 2D are not until 5 or 6 o'clock, and there's only 2 showings of that. The majority of the other screens are in 3D. So it's like you're kind of boxed in to want to go see the experience, unless you're like me and just El Cheapo, or it's just I'm not paying. You know what I'm saying? I listen. Clash of the Titans did it for me. When I took the kids to go see that, and I spent $90 on
tickets
3D, and it was trash. I was just done. Now, Avatar's a totally different game, a totally different animal, and I'm pretty sure it looks amazing. I am not spending that kind of money on Fern Gully. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Well, this one is more like Romeo and Juliet.
and then above all that, and to hear James Cameron bark the way he barks about superhero films, and yours is a subpar super. Yours is basically, like you said earlier, it's animation. It's computer. It's CGI.
It's CGI. It's a full CGI movie, and you complaining about superhero movies or comic book movies that are using actual actors. I mean, not saying that you're using actors in this, but you know what I'm saying. They're being mocap.
Yeah.
So these people are using actual actors that's got to be on camera, right? Which is a good thing. Before we get to the award stuff, that's a good point you make. James Cameron, who's been amongst a lot of the old heads, as we call them, directors, have been very vocal about.
And you're at Disney. You're barking like garbage, and you're coming out of Disney.
Yeah, and so it's a lot. So he's he's always been talking about that. He's been known openly attacking comic book films as well as streaming services. I understand. I don't say I don't understand, but I get it. You're saying, hey, you want to get people out to the movies, forget about streaming. Well, that's easier said than done, my friend. A lot of people were affected by this pandemic, and they're just like, yeah. As you say now with this, once again, I go back to my numbers thing. They did not even come close to $1 billion here in America. Their billion came overseas, and they're outside internationally. They're more outside than we are, right? So the numbers make perfect sense. If we was outside like that, he'd probably make $3 billion on this film. But here's the deal. Another thing that people aren't really mentioning, which I won't go into too much, but hell, them grossing $2 billion is damn near, breaking even with all the money they spent making it.
And not only that, but also look at when you released it. You released it around Christmas time.
Yeah.
So when it was up against nothing.
Yeah. It's up against nothing. I mean, it's smart to do that, from that standpoint. It was smart,
Oh, they need to make sure they made their money back. And that's why now, this is why now they're wrestling with Marvel. And this is probably why behind the scenes he's pissed off, because now he's wrestling behind the scenes trying to get a date for the next 2 installments for this movie, which supposedly is already in the can, but he just has to it just has to be whatchamacallit.
Yeah, they gotta be rendered.
Rendered.
Yeah. It's gonna take like a year to render. So anyway, so that, like I said, it makes sense. America, United States, they're not fully back to the movies. And that's proven, and the proof is in the pudding when you look at even some comic book films didn't do as good as you probably would expect it. And you have all of these films like what's the film you mentioned earlier? Babylon, right? Is that the one? No, was that the film you mentioned, or was it a no?
You meant Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, that has a crap ton of superstars in it, great actors, all that stuff, which that used to be enough to bring people out to the movies. Oh man, this movie got all these people in it. I'd like to check it out. These movies are flopping at the box office because we're not fully back outside
yet. And also, and this is something I'll give Grace credit for, that she did the on her movie math. She did the math on it. As much as I don't like her, I have to give her credit where credit is due, because she does her due diligence when it comes to the numbers. She's also pointed out the fact that a lot of the movie-going experience in New York, Los Angeles, and the major cities is not what it used to be, and it's not back to normal. She said mostly a lot of the where the numbers are growing are in the Midwest and in the South, and it's mostly white crowds. She said she was like, A Man Called Otto, or whatever the name of that movie is with Tom Hanks. It's Tom Hanks with Latino people, and she said that she was showing her numbers. It was, I think, 77% Caucasians went out to go see the movie, whereas everybody else is just like, okay.
Yeah, well, because Tom Hanks has his own audience. Like, I've seen.
Well, yeah.
A lot of movies I've seen. So many movies, and a lot of his core base are probably white people that are like our age and older.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's like his core base right there. Especially now. But
and the seniors, and a lot of them are senior. A lot of the
seniors, they love him. And I remember when I went to see one of those Angels and Demons films or whatever.
Oh yeah, those are my joints.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I went to see one, and I was like, "Dang, there's a lot of older people."
Yeah, because those number one, those Dan Brown. I've read pretty. Now that I think about it, I've read all of Dan Brown books, because Dan Brown's library is not well, his main books. I don't know if he has any ghostwriting, but all of his main books that deal with Robert Langdon, I've read them all, and his books are awesome, and they pretty much translated pretty well. The last one didn't do too well. Actually, the last movie that he did was The Lost Symbol. That's not starring Tom Hanks. That's starring another guy. And that's on. Oh, believe it or not, it's on Peacock. And anyway, I almost didn't watch The Best Man today because it was on Peacock. Anyway, my issue with Peacock, and I'm just going to state this, and I'm going to leave it alone, is how are you you got two different tiers. Oh, you got three. You got free, $4.99, and then $9.99, and then you talk about $9.99 still showing commercials. I'm like, what?
No. Yeah, but they show it. I think they only show it right in the beginning.
I don't care when it is. If I'm paying anything over $7, I better not see not one. And that's why when the best,
I was just talking about that when I was watching The Best Man. Same thing. I was like, wait,
I watched.
Pay for no commercial.
Listen, I watched everything back to back, and then I wanted to buy Best Man Holiday, because I bought The Best Man. I paid for that. I paid $14 for that, and I was going to buy Best Man Holiday because I even forgot about that movie. And after watching today, realized that I don't even think I ever saw that movie before today.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even think I ever saw that movie before today. And if I did, I only saw it once. But no, it's really good. But you can't even buy it digitally.
No.
Nope, it's not available digitally. And I don't know whether it's because they're doing this, this thing with the Best Man. The final chapter, which is stupid to me because they just should have called it The Best Man, the final chapter, and just called it that instead of, I don't know why it's broken into episodes. It's a movie, and you took a movie and broke it up.
Well, yeah, they broke it. It's not really because it's 8 episodes, so it ain't a movie.
It was 8 episodes.
There's 8 episodes of The Best Man final chapters. It's like
that was 8 episodes. That was some short episodes because I watched the whole thing.
Because each one, so it would basically would have been like a 4-hour movie because each episode's like a half an hour or something like that. You know what I mean? Each episode, I think, is like a half hour. Maybe
that's what I thought. Yeah, it couldn't be that much longer than that because it was only like 4. It was only like 4 episodes.
No, there's 8, unless they only put 4. No, I think they're all there. All 8 are there on Peacock. I was saying unless they only put 4 and they were going to put 4 more later, but I don't think.
They're probably going to put another 4 later because I only saw 4 today.
I thought. I didn't get through all 8, and I saw all 8. It looked like they were available on Peacock. We'll have to double check that. I'll check that later. But anyway, there are 8 episodes though.
Oh, okay, so that means
they're calling it season 1, but I think it's only supposed to be a miniseries. But I like the fact that they did bring back all of the cast, the original cast from the film. If you're going to try to tie, one of the reasons why I read that, they even did this in the first place is because, they did want to do a third movie, but I don't know, whatever happened, they never got a chance to do a third movie, funding, whatever it may be, right? So this is, I guess the opportunity finally came through Peacock and all that stuff. This is a Peacock original. So they finally was able to say, okay, let's, we'll go ahead and finish it up. Tie up all the loose ends. If really, you're not even really tied up loose ends. You're really just kind of just letting everybody who became real fans of these characters, let them know how their life pretty much turned out.
Yeah, because I'm noticing now. I'm looking at it. So I guess I had more to watch, and I guess it must have just turned off, thinking that I wasn't watching anymore.
Yeah.
I watched up until spoiler alert. I watched up until about it had to be about the 4th episode after they left the island.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it started time jumping a little bit. So it's like basically what the way this, to set it up for without spoilers is, the Best Man final chapters. If you haven't seen it, a lot of people have seen it already. When they first came, it's been out a few weeks. The Best Man final chapters really is designed to wrap up the stories of these characters that everyone loved back in 1999 and then again in like 2013 or whatever. So they're doing it with the episodes, right? And they're so that's pretty much what they're doing. It's designed to wrap up the stories, to give you kind of a little perspective of, hey, how did this turn out? How did that turn out? So, and they bring back the original cast, which is awesome. So you don't get a chance to, miss out on anything. The Best Man was a very. It wasn't until I re-binge, because I did binge them, the movies, so I can before I watch the show, just get myself re-familiarized with the characters. And I'm glad I did that. And I recommend anybody, if you haven't seen The Best Man in a long time or Best Man Holiday, I'm going to say, before you jump into this, even if you remember the characters, whatever, watch the movies first. Because this directly picks up from where they left off at the end of Best Man Holiday. This series picks up from there. So it actually goes back to that point. It recaps it for you. Actually, the series recaps both movies, I think, for you. So that's for the people who don't go see it. But it brings you, so it gives a nice solid recap. I give them that. And then it goes into it, So but I would say watch The Best Man, because you're seeing from movie to movie how these characters are evolving and how they're, growing or not growing. Some of them is the same thing for everyone. And some characters you're like, oh, this person ain't changed. They just got more money. And that's another thing. It's always a film. All right, I just want to quickly talk about The Best Man. I give Malcolm D. Lee some credit, a lot of credit, not some credit, because he wrote and directed the films, and the film was put together nicely. Had a nice, for back then too. It had a nice premise to it, kind of different, because we had a lot of, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, you had that film. There was a lot that was in the midst of a lot of, urban, if you will, films that had like, like Friends, and but just really just showing like black characters in, friendships and relationship movies and stuff like that. That was around that time. There was a lot of movies like that. But what I loved about this was the premise of it and how it went down. It was well acted by these characters. A lot of actors that have in the past, some of them, not all of them, in the past have been criticized for their acting, right? But I think a lot of them brought it to the table on that movie, and you really got a chance to see their acting abilities. They really there's a lot of emotions flying around in these movies, right? So I give Malcolm D. Lee a lot of credit, and even though like that the ending scene, at the altar, that is to me one of the best written scenes that I've seen, and like in the climax of a movie, because you're just like, you don't know what the heck is about to happen. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, when you first saw this movie, I know when I first saw it, I didn't think he'd get through the vows. I didn't think it would. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but it's a very intense scene, and that's Malcolm D. Lee's first movie too as a writer. As a director, let's see, I'm not sure, but as a writer, that is his that's really like his first movie, and as a director, that was his first movie. Because I know Spike Lee produced it. It was a 40 Acres and a Mule production. Spike Lee is Malcolm D. Lee's cousin. Um, but yeah, he directed that, Malcolm. That is. So he had The Best Man, and then he had Undercover Brother. He directed, and Roll Bounce. And then he directed an episode of Everybody Hates Chris. Soul Men, he directed, and he didn't get back to The Best Man Holiday until 2013 when it came out. He also directed one of the installments of Scary Movie, but he directed, like, I don't know, what is that, Scary Movie 5, and then Barbershop: The Next Cut, he directed that. So after The Best Man, so really, he started getting some real, good work. He also directed an episode of the Wu-Tang show too. Wu-Tang, and then anyway though, but The Best Man, for that to be his directorial debut, that's a good job. That's a good job for that film to be his first film.
Well, I'm glad he did it and Spike didn't. And
Why you say that?
I'm just not a huge fan of Spike Lee, but I'm glad it's not Spike. It wasn't Spike Lee.
I mean, it was a 40 Acres and a Mule production.
It was a production, yeah, but he didn't. But he wasn't. His hand wasn't on it.
I'm sure it was somewhere in there because he was the producer on it. So I'm sure he had something to do with it. But Malcolm did a great job directing it his first time around. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, if you have access, you're a director, you got access to Spike Lee. Of course, you're going to tap into it. But I mean, Spike didn't direct it. Obviously, Malcolm did. He wrote it, and then and rightfully so, he directed it. But this movie really, like I said, it was one of those movies, man. And a lot of the actors in it kind of really blew up after that movie. You know what I'm saying? Started really landing bigger roles and blew up and stuff like that. And now that's why it's so great to have them all back, because now, to be honestly, respectfully, a lot of those actors, went on to be pretty big actors, and now they're coming back for these last, chapters. And I'm sure they obviously just shot it all at once, and they decided to break it up in editing. But the fact that they all came back was really cool. It would have sucked if one of the main ones wouldn't have came back for whatever reason. You know what I mean? That would have kind of sucked to me. Now, you want to see
it kind of made sense for them to come back and do it though, because with the exception of well, as far as the guys go, all of them were basically, now that I think about it, all the guys are basically on TV. Tay Diggs is on his.
He's on TV now, yeah. So what? Chestnut's on TV, right?
He's back on TV now, but even
what do you call it? He's mostly. I would consider the other guy,
Terrence
Howard. He's a movie star. He's mostly been movies, but then he was on TV with Empire. But I mean, he's retiring, isn't he? He's retiring from acting.
Yeah, I think after this he was done.
Yeah, I think after this is it. So, cool. Yeah, but Sanaa Lathan, I don't know if she's on a TV show right now, but she's more of a movie actress.
She was just recently on something. What was she
A lot.
on?
Well, you got to know the pandemic also drove a lot of movie actors to TV as well. Because,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because obviously the movies budgets have gone down. You know what I mean? Not really, but yes. I should no. Let me rephrase that. The movie salaries have gone down some for some, and they'd rather get that steady paycheck. Or if you're someone like Angela Bassett, who is a monster when of a name and a monster of an actor, where you could come to TV and own it basically. And demand what you want and get it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, yo, TV, we got have a movie star on our show. You know what I'm saying? So good job there. But just to really wrap that up, go out and check The Best Man. Watch it. They're all on Peacock. So if you really just want to have a nice little weekend, depending on how you like to binge movies, a nice little weekend and with the lady or by yourself or whatever the case may be, sit back, watch. You're gonna basically be in for about what is that? 2, 4, what maybe about
it's a full day.
Full day, about 8 to 10 hours of watching program.
And that's just 8 hours of watching just the Best Man, the final chapters.
Well, the final chapters, they're about a half hour a piece.
No, 45 minutes. I just looked at them. They're about 45. Right. They're between 45 and 54 minutes.
Okay.
A piece.
All right. So there you go. So yeah, so it's about 8 hours of that. So yeah, but at least binge the first two. You want to take it over the weekend. Do Saturday binge the I would recommend binging the 2 movies right back to back. Maybe start the other one, do like maybe 3 or 4 episodes.
Oh man, just do what I did. Just sit down and just do them all back to back. I gotta finish because I didn't realize. I don't know why I stopped. Oh, you know what? That's why I stopped. I put it on pause because I got to make me and the baby something to eat.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I stopped. Because I did stop right after they came back from the island.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man.
It's a good binge, though. It's definitely a good binge.
Yeah, it's a nice binge. These characters, were pretty good. Oh, just as we're talking, I'm looking at a preview from this film with Morris Chestnut in it. He's in some film that comes out in February with who's that, Jennifer Carpenter in there, the girl from Dexter. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, the one from Dexter who played the sister. It's called The Enemy Within. Premieres February, so I don't know if that's a show, and maybe it looked like a movie, but maybe it's probably a show then, or a series or something. But Morris Chestnut is he's in it. He's playing a lot. He plays a lot of law enforcement nowadays. He plays law enforcement cops and stuff like that. So he's doing his thing though, and it's a good show. It's a good movie, like you said. It's a good binge. You get to watch it and reestablish your relationship with these characters because you're going to be with them for the next, 8 to 10, 12 hours of watching. Get reacquainted with them.
Get your tissue ready for the first two.
Yeah, for the first 2 for sure. And then enjoy the ride, that's why I said it was.
And not only get your tissue ready, I gotta tip my hat to this brother too. It is so much fun going on in this thing. Oh my goodness!
I mean, he had some of the finest women in the business at that time. Black women. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I mean, homegirl from Deep Cover, she don't even act anymore. Ooh. She stopped acting. This might have been The Best Man. Might have been her last movie. What's her name? The lady who the opening scene. Basically, she's Lawrence Fishburne's girlfriend in Deep Cover. At the end of Deep Cover.
Right.
Her.
But who was she in The Best Man?
She was the television executive in that opening scene with Nia Long.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I think that was one of the last films she did before she stopped doing film. Because I think she stopped doing film, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, maybe she went to television or something. I don't know.
No, I think she stopped doing. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
she went. It looked like she went to television because, like, you talk about Victoria Dillard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no. After The Best Man, she did 91 episodes of Spin City, so she was on that show.
Okay.
And then in 2001, Tara. That just says video. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that was a video game or video. Then she was in Ali. She was Betty Shabazz in Ali.
Yes, in Ali, yeah.
Right. And then Family Law, more television, Law and Order, television, Law and Order, Criminal Intent. And yeah, her last movie noted on IMDb is in 2009. The Unusuals. That was her last recorded appearance via IMDb. Yeah. So she stopped acting. She stopped acting in 2009.
2009. Yeah, I know. I haven't seen her in a while. I know it's been a while since.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know why she decided to stop acting, but she did. In 2002. Oh no, sorry, 2009. She stopped acting. So that's pretty much that. Kev, it sounds like we might have lost you. I can't hear you. Or you went on mute.
She might. I think she might have gotten cancer or something like that.
Possibly. But I mean, she had some dope films of that, because I remember seeing her in she was one of the dancers in Coming to America, but I remember she was also, they have her here, she was
in Ricochet. She was in
Ricochet, right? Was she?
If I'm not mistaken, I think she was Denzel Washington's wife in Ricochet, right?
I thought so. Let me see. It looks like, I do remember seeing her in that. Yeah, Ricochet, yeah. Deep Cover. Yeah, she was in Ricochet. That's right. She was his wife in Ricochet. I remember that. That was crazy. I love Ricochet too. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that was another good movie.
One of my favorite go back and watch Denzel movies is Ricochet, man. I tell you, my man, the most unappreciated actor in the business is my man,
John Lithgow.
Man, everyone knows he's a beast, but I don't know. He just don't get the credit he deserves.
No, I think he did over. I think like a year or two ago, he was in. It wasn't a movie. I think he was in some kind of TV, something with TV. I think he got an Emmy or something, didn't he?
I don't know.
It was something within the last 5 or so years. I think right before the pandemic, maybe.
Very possible. I mean, he deserves one. He deserves some sort of award.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, because I remember us talking about it. How we was talking about that he was well deserved for that, because he just as Raising Cain.
Yeah, I think he did get an Emmy for What show was that though?
I can't remember what the show was.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember myself. But he's on this show called The Old Man that I heard was a pretty good.
Yeah, that's new. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a new show. I heard that was a pretty. Good
that's with what's his face. That they pissed me off because they only did like 8 episodes of that.
Jeff Bridges, right?
With Jeff Bridges, yeah, that movie was starting out to be pretty good. Actually, that's another one. Don't get too attached to the characters.
But The Old Man, don't get too attached to the characters. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out. I was watching that. I wasn't watching it. Someone else I know was watching it when I was over at my man's crib. And, I think his wife was watching it, his mother-in-law. But I'm like, what is this show? They're like, oh,
it was good. I binged it. I binged it.
I would check it out.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. Jeff Bridges is still on his man. He's still a beast. He's an old man, but he's
Yeah, we'll check that out. So yeah, I'm gonna look up the Emmy that he might have gotten. I don't know for sure, but we'll look that up. Speaking of the Emmys, good segue. I don't know, it's not the Emmys, but it was the Golden Globes. So speaking of awards, we'll say the Golden Globes actually aired the day after we were on last week. Last week we had Rayon Lawrence on. Of course, our good friend Rayon, as he's playing the character of K9 on BMF, on Stars. So we had him on for a nice interview, which you could catch right here on the IE network. Check it out. I'm also sending out clips, like shorts of the interview, and then you can go check out the full thing. So anyway, the Golden Globe Awards were aired for the first time in over a year, because last year it did not air. It was not televised. They still had it, but it was not televised because no network, or NBC is their normal network, would not televise them that year because of all of the controversy that they caught. As we all know, by now we should all know, with the Hollywood Foreign Press being pretty much racist and and all the flack they caught from that. So NBC, along with a lot of the people, just decided to cancel. A lot of the actors decided to cancel the award show, which is,
and then they turn around, only to turn around and front loaded heavy with all the anyway.
Not all of them, because Tom Cruise did not show up. He didn't come.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, there were people who didn't
Maverick
show up.
Was nominated. Yeah, Maverick was nominated in several categories. So he didn't come.
But I wonder if he didn't come because he's still doing Mission Impossible stuff.
I don't know. I mean, that's in the can. I heard though. That's supposed to come out, and that's supposed to come out in a couple months.
Probably the end of the summer.
I mean, it doesn't mean that he ain't still doing reshoots or something like that, but there's always something to do, right? So
yeah, because I know that there were a couple of actors who didn't show up because they were working, and because they specifically said it for one or two of the actresses that they weren't there to receive. Like Zendaya didn't get; she wasn't there to receive her award because she was working on something supposedly. Right. But who knows?
Another well-deserved award, because I'm giving, what, she was season 2 of Euphoria. She was bodying that role. She was killing it, boy, killing it. But anyhow, so we know that's what happened. So it's back this year, and let's see. We'll go over some of the winners. Obviously, not some of them. We'll go over the winners. We had who was the dude's name that hosted it this year? I keep forgetting that guy's name.
Carmichael.
Something Carmichael. Yeah, he's allegedly a comedian. I saw something that he had on one of these streaming services. I think it was like a stand-up. I didn't get a chance to watch it because anyone who calls themselves a comedian, and if they have a stand-up, I'm going to watch them, in my opinion, just to see if they're funny. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me watch him. I didn't get a chance to watch him. But anyway, he hosted. He immediately addressed the elephant in the room and went in and set the tone as far as, okay, people, we all know the Hollywood Foreign Press is racist. And I'm paraphrasing. This is not what he said exactly, but he basically in a nutshell said, we all know the Hollywood Foreign Press is still racist, and I'm only here because I'm black. They need to, they need to try to plug and check the boxes to make sure the minorities are present and accounted
and even then it was like somebody took a paintbrush with black paint on it, with brown paint, and just splashed it in the room, because that was one of the whitest rooms I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, well, usually that's all, because to be honest with you, it's mostly white people that care about these award shows.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up, I guess, because I am a filmmaker, and yes, is it the end or be all? Will my career be null and void if I never get any of these awards? No. Would I accept any of these awards? Yes, I would. You know what I'm saying? If I was ever to get one. So, anyway, so let's get the winners going out. Eddie Murphy was given the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and I believe that's kind of like a lifetime achievement award for them.
That's exactly what it is.
The Cecil B. DeMille Award is, he's like one of the people that started Hollywood. Cecil B. DeMille. So it's like a lifetime achievement award, and Ryan Murphy ended up getting the Carol Burnett Award, which I'm not sure what exactly that award encompasses, like embodies. If it's
well,
they
she
can't
was
both be,
they
can't both be lifetime achievement awards.
No, but I think they are. The
or maybe it's like a award of excellence or something like that.
Well, the one for Carol Burnett, I forgot, because she was the first one. I forgot, like when they made that award, and I think she got the award when they first made it.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking at right now. The Carol Burnett Award was launched in 2019. It's actually, the full name is the Carol Burnett Award for Achievement in Television. Okay. So that's why you can't give that to Eddie. Eddie is a movie star. So he can't get the Carol Burnett Award because he has not had a career in television.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why. So that's what that is. So the Carol Burnett Award is achievement in television, whereas the Cecil B. DeMille Award can be probably given to anybody for lifetime achievement or whatever.
Because that would be because that dude, he, like you said, he started off as whatever in Hollywood. So that saying in the kind, and you said that dude he did a lot of different stuff in Hollywood behind the scenes.
I mean, he's one. You're right. He's one. He was a producer, director, a writer, but I mean, he's credited as one of the first people, like executives of people to actually help start Hollywood. So that's why that award could probably be given to anyone.
Eddie,
for
right?
Yeah, and Eddie. That's why Eddie got that award. So he got that award, and we said the Carol. Let me see, Carol.
Which makes sense for the other dude. The other dude, most of his stuff was television.
Yeah, pretty much all his stuff was television for the most part. He's a television producer, and writer and director. So a creator, we'll just call him that. He's a television creator, television show creator. So the full list of the winners will go down. So starting with best motion picture drama. That went to The Fablemans. That's Steven Spielberg. The Fablemans won Best Picture, Best Motion Picture. That beat out Elvis, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, and Avatar: The Way of Water. Which I was like, that's nominated for Best Picture, really? It's strictly on the success of it, because like, come on, man.
No, well, you got to remember they did their due diligence. They got it in before the cutoff date.
Yeah,
to make sure that it would,
I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting there like, please do not let them win this award. I was like, please. I was like, number one, they don't deserve it, and number two, if you want to call it best, most watched movie or movie as far as achievement and making the money and most popular, you want to call it that, that's fine. It's not the best picture by any means. So, Fablemans. Next, best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama. Kate Blanchett for Tar. She won, beat out Olivia Colman, Viola Davis, Anna de Armas for Blonde, Michelle Williams for The Fablemans. So Kate Blanchett beat Viola Davis for The Woman King. Interesting. Then we have, they're like, look, we can't give it all to you blackguards.
Listen, they listen. Why? But they ain't listen. They ain't gonna step in duty twice. That movie was already written and produced by Whitey, and then you're gonna turn around and have I'm not listen.
Well, that even though the movie was written and produced by white writers,
it was directed by a black woman,
Gina Prince Blythewood, who is an excellent director herself. Actually, I think she's working on The Old Guard 2 right now. I think because I saw a poster for it. So then, but this award would have been strictly for Viola Davis. It's not for the movie. It's for her role in the movie.
Right?
Best Actress Award. Okay, so best performance by an actor in a motion picture. Austin Butler, Elvis, who played Elvis. I guess he's the guy who played Elvis. He beat out Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Hugh Jackman, The Son, Bill Nighy is Living, and Jeremy Pope, The Inspection. So he won that, and I thought that was interesting because, rest in peace to Jesus Christ, Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie, right? She passed.
Oh yeah. She's just 54.
Right, and she was at that ceremony. She actually, they had her. She died like the next day or something like that. They had her there, and she was talking about how great, Austin did, playing her father, and she really liked how the movie came out and how they told the story and stuff like that. She was very satisfied with it. I saw them talking to her on the red carpet, and just like a day or two after that, she went into cardiac arrest and passed. So rest in peace.
I can't. That's still, even though I wasn't a huge fan of hers, because I can't even remember what she did. What was she do? What did she do?
I don't know. She was just Elvis' daughter. She married Michael Jackson.
Well, aside from that, but wasn't she wasn't in TV or nothing, right?
Nah, not really. Priscilla Presley was in TV.
Yeah, that's how I was like when they said she died. I was just like, and I felt some kind of way. I was like, why do I feel funny?
No, I just thought it was not weird, but I mean, I felt a little weird because I was just watching the Golden Globes, and I saw I was watching the red carpet, all that stuff, and I saw her. I was like, damn, she was just looking at her.
Yeah, because I didn't remember because I didn't watch the red carpet, so I didn't remember her seeing her on that. I just like it's just weirding me out that over the last all of these people are dying at 54. Like, it's making me nervous. I got 2 years. I'm like, wait, is 54 the cutoff point? What's going on out in these streets?
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna sleep through my birthday the whole day. Don't even get up.
Don't even get up.
I don't want to get, because if I open up my eyes and I'm like, okay, I'm alive, I'm just gonna stay here in bed and sleep. So I might walk outside and get hit by a truck or something.
I don't know why. When I was sitting at my desk and it came across the wire, I was like, what? I'm like, wow. Anyway.
So, rest in peace to Lisa Marie Presley. Family, condolences from the show of the whole family and friends.
I forgot about she married Michael Jackson.
I was like, she married Michael Jackson? She did that. Yeah, that was cool. So it was cool that she got a chance to see, because she said on the red carpet interview, hopefully he wins tonight. That's before the show. So she got a chance to see him win, which was cool. And now that's it.
She's at rest. Graceland is now complete.
Complete, the whole family. Best motion picture, musical or comedy. The Banshees of Inisherin. Inisherin. There you go. That's how you say it. That one for best picture. That beat out Babylon. It beat out Glass Onion, the Knives Out mystery.
Yeah, that wasn't that good anyway.
It was cool. I liked it. It beat out Triangle of Sadness and Everything Everywhere All at Once. So beat all those out for best picture. So best performance by an actress in a motion picture, musical or comedy. Okay. And that was Michelle. Speaking of Everything Everywhere All at Once, Michelle Yeoh wins that, takes that one home. And she beat out Margot Robbie in Babylon, Leslie Manville, and Anya Taylor-Joy in The Menu.
And that movie was good.
Yeah, it looks good. I didn't get a chance to watch it
yet. The Menu was that movie was very well done. Very well done. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm a little bit mad that I didn't watch that in the movies. I'm so mad.
I want to check that out. What did you watch that on? What streamer? You remember?
Was it Apple?
Oh, it might be on Apple TV.
It was either Apple or Paramount.
Okay. It might be Paramount. I thought I saw an ad for it. Might be Paramount Plus. Okay. Best performance by an actor in a motion picture was Colin Farrell for the Banshees of Inisherin. Yeah. Okay. That was like an Irish type.
It's just the term when just the name Banshee lets you know right there. That's Ireland.
Right.
Or Scott. It's either Ireland or Scottish. 9 times out of 10, it's Ireland.
Yeah. Okay. So best motion picture animated, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Oh, that thing was awesome. I didn't watch the whole thing. Aiden saw it all. I fell asleep because I was awesomely tired. But for about the half an hour to 40 minutes that I did see, that was that dude has not lost his touch at all. Like he's a beast. He's a beast. Him and Peter Jackson, man, they are up there. As far as our directors go when it comes to stuff like that, man. They are. He was on top. He was on top notch on his game with this. It looked. It was eerily him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was just
animation was kind of.
Yeah. It was very good. I liked what I saw.
Right. So best motion picture non-English language went to 1985 Argentina, and then it won Then you got best performance by an actress in a supporting role in any movie, any motion picture. That was Angela Bassett. Auntie took home the win for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and she beat out Carrie Condon, Jamie Lee Curtis from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Dolly DeLorean for Triangle of Sadness, and Carrie Mulligan. She said, "Okay, so
and the menu's on HBO Max.
Oh, HBO Max. Okay, I know I saw an ad for it on one of my streamers. Best performance by an actor in a supporting role in any motion picture went to Ki Hu Kwan, who from Everything Everywhere All at Once, and he is, for give you a little more context, he is the young man, Asian man who was a young boy, who got his start in Steven Spielberg's, George Lucas's, Indiana Jones, and the last, it was the Temple of Doom. Yeah, Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom. So, yeah, good. He had a nice speech where he talked about getting his start with Steven Spielberg, and he kind of, I guess, it kind of went a little dead for him after that, and he said he never thought he'd get back to, get back to the achievements that he made as a young child in acting, and that's pretty sad when you think about that. But as he stayed diligent, and here it is. Lo and behold, almost 40 years later, he's winning an award for his performance in the film. So that's cool. Best director went to Steven Spielberg. So Steven took home Best Picture, and he took home Best Director.
Side note before you go on, Amsterdam is also on HBO Max.
Okay, yeah, I was setting up to watch that the other day too. I'll probably watch out. I always wait for Mel to try to. We trying to catch up so bad, man. Cause we just put up our couch and our TV stand. Let me tell you something, dude. That TV stand I got, it's a 3-tier TV stand, and it has a thing that you could mount a TV on the stand, so you don't have to mount it to the wall. Now, when you live in apartments and stuff like that, I feel funny about drilling holes in walls and stuff like that. So I didn't want to have to do that. So this stand has the 3 tiers of shelves, which are all like tempered glass, and a long neck thing that you can mount the TV on.
TV to it, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, it's really nice, but I'm gonna tell you this, bro. That thing was heavy than a Oh my God.
Yo, they have to be. Those things are made.
It's really the glass though, the tempered glass part of it that was the most heavy. It's a straight glass. It was 3 big for the shelf. And
because it's got to support all of that weight.
Yep. Man, oh man. And I live on the 2nd floor. Man, when I got that thing home, I was like, look, I ain't trying to
pick
be
a spot,
right.
and it ain't moving.
I was like, just getting it up the stairs, dude. I was like, yo, you ain't gonna see me try to play Mr. Macho Man and lift this thing up. It ain't happening. This thing was heavy. I had to take my little hand truck to go get it when we went there, because we were exchanging a desk for that, and the desk we had was mad expensive, and I was like, mad heavy, and I have a little hand truck that it's a really nice hand truck that I used to use it for all of my Comic Con stuff. Bring my bins in there. It's a hand truck that flips down. It stands up like a regular hand truck, and then it flips down to a flatbed as well if you need it. So anyway, and it's real, portable. Anyway, I'd use the hand truck to get it to the stairs, and Lord, I walked that sucker up them stairs like I flipped it end over end, end over end, end over end, going up the stairs because
why don't you just strap it to the hand truck and wheel it up?
it was too heavy, bro.
Oh wow,
it's too heavy for that. The hand truck adds another 10 pounds to it. So I was like, yo, this is what we gonna do. We gonna slide that sucker up on the first step, and then I had it like sideways and the long way. So once you flip it once, it takes up about 4 steps when you flip it.
Yeah, so you just keep flipping it until you get to the top.
Until you get to the top. Man, oh man, that thing was. Whew. So yeah, so like you said, once it's up, we ain't moving it. Mel's like, oh, let's clear over here, and I'm gonna set it up. I said, no. You're gonna set that up where it is, where it's supposed to be, because we're not moving it. Once it
gets up, it's up.
It's up. It's up and it's stuck. So yeah, but anyway, we just got that, and we just got our couch, so we're finally able to sit down and watch stuff. But I may take a go at that one on my own because I don't know if she'd be interested in a film like that. So we'll see. I might just check that one out. It's on HBO Plus, HBO Max, whatever it's called. All right, best screenplay went to Martin McDougal or McDonald, The Banshees. So they're cleaning up. So that one for best screenplay. That beat out Todd Field for Tar, the two Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Sarah Polley for Women Talking, and Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans. Okay, best original score for a motion picture. Justin Horwitz for Babylon was the winner. He beat out John Williams too for The Fabelmans. Cool. And finally, we have one, like 2 or 3, a few left. Okay, finally. So that was best score. Where'd I go? I lost it. Yeah, best score. That was one. Then we have best original score. Oh no, we have that already. That was Justin Horowitz. And then let's see what else. We'll skip a few of them. Best television series drama, House of the Dragon won. So that was pretty interesting. That was somewhat of a surprise for me because it's new. So it beat out Better Call Saul, The Crown, Ozark, Severance. So with it being a new show, I thought that was interesting that it won.
Yeah, because those other ones that you rang out they're I don't want to say they're played out, but this is a prequel, and like everybody was so excited about it. A lot of people were disappointed because it's so dialogue rich.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say. Now, I'm not a fan of the what was it called again? On
House of Dragons. The
show, the original show.
God damn it! House of Dragons, Dragons of what's the name of the damn show? Why can't I think of it now?
I don't know. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
So Game of Thrones. I was never into Game of Thrones, so obviously I didn't watch House of the Dragon. But I know a lot of people that were really heavily into Game of Thrones that was disappointed, expressed their disappointment in the House.
Which to them I say, like I said to my client that I work with, Kevin, he was like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "I didn't put this on to see all this." He's like, I want to see dragons slay people, and I want to see. I'm like, bro, this is a whole precursor. This is everything that happened before Daenerys. This shows you the whole lineage of everything that goes up to Daenerys. Spoilers for those of you who have not watched Game of Thrones yet. Basically, it's a prequel. It's the story of the age of when dragons like basically was roaming the planet. Like damn near everybody had a dragon like a car. and I'm over exaggerating, but the people who did have dragons, they had dragons like the spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched it. They man, the one dude that grabbed the dragon, he snatched this kid's the kid's mother killed herself because she was dying during childbirth or whatever the case may be. So she had her dragon burn her alive, which was dope. Black lady too. So this kid came and took her dragon and made it his own dragon. And this dragon is the biggest dragon of all the dragons. Like this dude's dragon was in the air, and his stepbrother was flying in the air, and he ate his stepbrother while he was in the air. He was on this dragon. It was so awesome. I know you're not into it, but it was such a it was kind of like Tom Cruise when he was shooting at that plane, and he was inside his the F-14, him and Homeboy. It was kind of like that, but with dragons.
That's funny. So they won, which is dope for them. Best performance by an actress in a television series went to Zendaya for Euphoria. Well deserved. She just destroys that.
I still haven't watched that. I still haven't seen that
at all, or just season 2.
At all. I haven't watched it at all.
Yeah, it's a very interesting show. And the performance she put in second season. Wow, like I've never seen Zendaya like this. You know what I mean? It's like
I guess I gotta shake off the Spider-Man stuff.
Bro, don't even, bro. You won't even recognize her as that. I mean, you can see at first you feel like, because when the first time they showed her in Spider-Man, she kind of looked like she was a drug addict. In Spider-Man. No, I said she looked like she was a drug addict in Spider-Man, but she's a drug addict in this show.
Okay.
That's the whole point of this show. She is a straight, and when I mean drug addict, she takes anything and everything. It don't matter. As long as she can get high. I mean, her character's such an addict. Like she knows the effects of all these different drugs. She knows how it's going to affect your heart. She literally at one scene had like an EpiPen that she told the guy, in case my heart stops, hit me with this. Like, yo, wow. Like, you seriously, like, you know that what you're about to do, the type of drugs you're about to do, may very well stop your heart. And you have a damn EpiPen and you give it to the guy saying, hey, if my heart stops, just jab me with this.
I gotta gear myself up for that. It's
crazy. It's definitely, like I said before, it's definitely heavy-handed on a lot of stuff. Yeah, but it just is, and I think what all the complaints that people will give, people just butthurt about everything anyway. But the complaints mostly came because these actors are portraying high school students. They're not high school students. They are not young people. They're all actors in their 20s portraying people in their teens, portraying high school students. But it's not just, her character's the main character, but it's a lot of other characters in there that's dealing with other stuff. The show basically deals heavily with drugs. It deals with sex, because these kids are at their sexual, peak not peak, but as far as interest goes, and they're trying everything and doing all types of craziness. But in the middle of all of this, you have Zendaya's character, who is just doesn't give a crap what's going on around her as long as she's high. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's really about her it's redemption stuff, trying to, get off the drugs and falling off the wagon several times. And it's amazing acting by a lot of the young actors in this film. I mean, in this show. And Zendaya is really, she killing it. But anyway, so she won. Best performance by an actor in a television series, Kevin Costner. Whoa, we dug him up. Kevin Costner, Yellowstone.
Yeah, I was going to mention that earlier. He's in that. Him, Harrison Ford. Now they did a spinoff with Harrison Ford and Meryl Streep. Not Meryl Streep. Helen Mirren.
Okay.
Did a spinoff. I think it's called 1814 or 1819 or something. It's a whole spinoff from that whole series of Yellowstone.
Oh, okay.
It's just crazy. Like I kind of understood where the people in my office were complaining about. They did all this stuff, but then they switched it between. Like they had it on two different things. They had it on Peacock, and then you could only get it on this, and then you had to pay for it if you wanted to watch it on here. So they lost a good part of their fan base by playing the give me your money to watch this show two-step.
So that's funny. So then best television series, musical comedy, Abbott Elementary. They've been cleaning up anyway. So Abbott Elementary wins that. Then you have best performance by an actress in a television series or comedy, Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary. She is also the creator and the writer of that show, which is pretty cool. Black woman created show. Then we have best performance by an actor in a television series, musical or drama, and that is Jeremy Allen White for The Bear. So best television limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television, The White Lotus wins that. And best performance by an actress in a limited series went to Amanda Seyfried for The Dropout. Interesting. Best performance by an actor in a limited series, motion picture made for television, that went to my friends Evan Peters for Donna.
Well deserved.
And we'll get back to that in a moment. We'll talk a little bit about that. Best performance by an actress in supporting role in a limited series, that's Jennifer Coolidge for White Lotus. Then you have best performance by an actor in a supporting role in a limited series, Paul Walter Hauser for Blackbird. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role, music or comedy, Julia Garner, Ozark. That was cool. That's my girl who plays she plays what the hell is that character's name? Ruth and Ozark.
Oh yeah. That's another well deserved.
Yeah, she killed it. Ruth is a good character too. You know, she's the front runner. Julia Garner. She's the front runner, from what reports said, to land the Madonna role.
I can see that.
To play Madonna in the film, in the biopic.
She's a little pale, but I can see that.
Yeah, Madonna, when she first came in, didn't really have no color to it. She didn't have no color to her.
Yeah, but I can see homegirl pulling that off though.
I can see her pulling it off too. Yeah. So, which that's currently being developed by Madonna, and she said she's gonna be the one producing it for sure, maybe even directing it, but she's gonna definitely produce it. And okay, so she won for Ozark and best performance by an actor in supporting role, musical comedy. Tyler James Williams for Abbott Elementary. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, and I think that's it for them. That's it for the Golden Globes Awards. So that's pretty cool. Tyler James Williams, people are definitely he's the young man who played the Chris character in the show, in the sitcom Everybody Hates Chris. You saw the young man grow up on television, and now he is a Golden Globe winner for comedy. It's good to see a young man, especially a young black man, starting off in comedy and now getting his recognition at a young age, but more mature age, and getting his recognition. That's pretty cool.
But he's been doing stuff for he's been doing good for a while, and pretty much everything. He was really good on The Walking Dead. I liked him on The Walking Dead actually.
Me too. I liked
his little short run on The Walking Dead. And you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of he's a younger version of God, why can't I think of Homeboy's name? But they basically blacklisted him from TV. The black actor that was on that he was on that series on Cinemax, and they canceled the series. Why can't I think of the name? It'll come to me. How was the name of that series? The Bug-Eyed Guy.
The Bug-Eyed Guy.
God damn it! You know who I'm talking about too. I don't know why I can't think of his name now. But me and Larry were talking about him when Larry was on the show. We were talking about him. That they were on that comic book adaptation. That show that was about. It was a comic book. Damn it! I can't. When it comes to it'll come to me, and I'll bring it back up again. Orlando.
Oh, I know you're talking about now. Yeah, his name is Orlando Johnson. Is that his last name?
I can't remember his last name. It's Orlando something, but that's who that guy reminds me of. He's a young.
I can see that. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because he played in Sleepy Hollow. He was in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I think his name is.
It's Orlando something. I can't think of his last name.
I thought it was Johnson, but it may not be.
It might be. I can't remember, but you know what I'm talking about anyway.
Yeah. It's either Johnson or Jones. It might be Jones.
It's probably always Orlando Jones. But those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, look up Sleepy Hollow and Orlando, and you'll see who I'm talking about. For those in the chat, as those who are listening, excuse me.
Yeah, and those the listeners but I think it's Orlando Jones. Yeah, that's him. So yeah, I can see that. He does kind of. They could definitely pass for siblings or father son.
Yeah. If they ever did a father son, that would be those two.
So real quick, I'll be able to go over a little bit about the Critics' Choice Awards. Also,
who cares?
Also aired. And once again, so real quick, the winners there. Best Picture went to Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Best Actress went to Kate Blanchett. Best Actor went to Brandon Fraser for The Whale, which I heard he did a phenomenal job in. Also heard Sadie Sink, who's in that movie with him, did a really good job. Sadie Sink is Max from Stranger Things. So, best directors went to the Daniels, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Best limited series was The Dropout on Hulu. Best drama series was Better Call Saul, AMC. Best young actor / actress, Gabrielle LaBelle of the Fablemans. And she beat out Sadie Sink in The Whale. Okay, cool. Best comedy went to Glass Onion. Was that really a comedy?
Yeah, it's technically speaking, that's
so,
what
yeah.
it's a murder mystery comedy.
It's a murder mystery comedy. Yeah, okay.
Especially that one. That one was just weird.
That one was that one was more of a comedy than the first one, I think. The Glass Onion. I mean the what's it called again? Knives Out.
Knives Out.
Comedy. I wouldn't look at that as a comedy. Glass Onion and best acting ensemble also went to Glass Onion,
which is a dark. Isn't it called? What do they call those? Dark comedy? What do they call?
Yeah, they call them like dark comedies. Yeah, that's what they call them, dark comedies. But that was best ensemble actors. Best.
I can say I'd give it that.
Okay. Yeah, best. That was it was pretty cool. I mean, I didn't jump out of the window for it, but it was pretty cool. Best comedy special, Norm Macdonald. Best foreign language. Okay, we'll go there. What else we're gonna say? Best animated series. This is interesting. Harley Quinn on HBO Max won best animated series.
I'm not surprised by that. A lot of people like that. A lot of people like that.
Yeah. Best movie made for television. Weird, the Al Yankovic story on the Roku channel. You can go see that on the Roku channel. That was Daniel Radcliffe portrays Weird Al Yankovic. And I hear it was a pretty good film. Ray Donovan, the movie. I didn't even know they had a movie version of Ray Donovan.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh, man. So the Weird Al story beat out Ray Donovan, the movie. It beat out Fresh from Hulu. It beat out Prey on Hulu. And The Survivor. Okay. Best actress in a drama series also went to Zendaya for Euphoria. Best actor in a drama series, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul. Best hair and makeup went to Elvis. Okay. That's cool. Best visual effects, Avatar, The Way of Water, of course. Best editing, Paul Rogers for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Best production design went to Babylon. Best cinematography, Claudio Miranda, Top Gun Maverick. I mean, getting all of those shots is crazy from the beginning. All of those aerial shots that were real aerial shots.
Yeah, that director's they actually wiped his phone, his camera clean on some of his shots because they actually shot. I think they actually shot at Area 51, and they shot at some other kind of secret bases. And he said that they filmed some stuff that they weren't supposed to be. They weren't apparently they weren't supposed to film. I think what was happening was as they were filming, I think when they would run the dailies back, I think somebody at the base had to look through their footage and see what they captured, and they were probably like, nope, 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 nope. And it's probably B-roll stuff. But he said that there was one point he got his phone back and it was white. He got his camera back. He said, and it was white. It was white clean.
Yeah, shout out to John in the building in the chat room. He was, when you was explaining about Lando Jones, he said, yeah, he was played in Drumline. Like, yeah, remember that too. He was.
Oh yeah, he did play Drumline. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yep.
He ran the Drumline.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'm still trying to think of that damn superhero movie he was in.
He was in a superhero movie?
Yeah, it was a television show. It was on Stars.
Oh, American Gods?
The American Gods, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. So Abbott Elementary wins again for Best Comedy Series. Best Actress in a Comedy Series, Gene Smart for Hacks. And Best Actor in a Comedy Series was Jeremy Allen White, The Bear. The See Her Award, I don't know what that is, but it's obviously like I See You Girl. It's a See Her Award that went to Janelle Monáe. Lifetime Achievement Award went to Jeff Bridges. We were just talking about him.
I'm assuming that was the Janelle Monáe for Glass
probably for Glass Onion. Yeah, it didn't say what for. It just says it's called the See Her. Well, I guess because she doing her thing.
I guess.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I think she is doing it good. She's actually turned out to be a pretty good actress.
Mm-hmm.
She came into the game as a musician, as a performer and stuff like that. I mean, I think she did she did a great job in Hidden Figures. Like she was fortunate, and she said that in the round table thing I was watching. She was like, she was fortunate to be placed in movies.
Who she got placed with? Yeah.
Actors. Yeah, she's like, I was blessed to be placed in movies early in my career with iconic actors. You know what I'm saying? She's like, so.
But if you listen to her albums though, her first two albums, if you listen to especially that Metropolis album, man, it's just her vocal performances on there. You could tell acting wasn't a far step off for her. Like it wasn't like if there had to be a stepping off point, acting was the next thing. Like that was quick on this, and it happened the way it was supposed to happen. Yeah. So I'm looking for some more great things for her. Wish she was into men. All the women that I like don't like men. It's so weird.
Best original screenplay. Now this is where I thought they should have won the Golden Globe for, and that was Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought a best original screenplay would be a good award to give them because it was very original the way it played out. So especially using the people, the backdrop, everything that was used in it, and just the story itself. Best adaptations, adapted screenplay, Women Talking, Sarah Polley. Then you have Best Supporting Actress,
Women Talking, again, Sarah Polley. Why does that sound familiar?
Sarah Polley, Women Talking. I don't know.
Is that? If that's what I think that is, she deserves that. She really does. And that's Sarah Polley from the that's the same Sarah Palin or Pollen or how we pronounce her name from
Polley, Sarah Polley is her name.
That's not the same woman from the what's the name of that series, that horror series, American Horror Series? Is it the same one?
I could look her up and see if she was ever in American Horror Story. I don't think so. Let me see that. Her top films that they mention is Dawn of the Dead. That was Zack Snyder's version.
Dope. That was a dope version.
Yeah, right. Go. I remember that movie. Remember that movie, Go? It's an older
Vaguely.
flick. Yeah, I remember that. That was actually a good movie. Those are the ones that they mentioned, like her big movies. Like,
yeah, no, American Horror Story would have been television.
Yeah, that was television. Yeah. Angela Bassett takes home Best Actress Supporting Role, and once again, Ke Huy Quan took Best Supporting Actor role. Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, Henry Winkler. Barry is the name of the show. Yeah, what up? P. Donald in the building. What up, dude? Young Bull. What up? Shout out. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, man. So yeah, then you got Cheryl Lee Ralph for Abbott Elementary. She's been cleaning up, doing that stuff. Niecy Nash for Dama. She won Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, you know what? On a side note with Niecy Nash, the guy that played the guy that was so destined to play the best man in the final chapters of The Best Man, he played her brother, Dean. He was autistic in Claws, and in some of his, and I could tell that the stuff that he did for The Best Man in the final chapters, he did right after. He must have came right to that set right after doing that, because a lot of his mannerisms, and if you look at how he kept his hands together, like how his fingers were closed, I was looking in the way he would talk. That's how that character talked, because that character was autistic, and it was just the dude did an awesome job. I was surprised he didn't get an award for that, for Claws. But it was weird. It was kind of weird seeing him in The Best Man, and him still holding on to certain characteristics from that character Dean from Claws. Because I would hear him talking, I'm like, "Is this Claws? Like, what's going on? Like what is he doing?"
Yo, his character in The Best Man, he was just, that dude is. He can play those type of like characters.
Oh, he does them well.
He's very annoying. It's an annoying character. But
I tell you, the show where he played it the best at though is when he was in Lost.
Okay.
He was in Lost for a while. He was in Lost, and then like I said, then he came back and he did his little stint on Claws with Niecy Nash as her brother, as a little brother Dean, and she Claws is a hot mess, man. But it was a good show. It was a good show.
Yeah.
But he plays those characters so well.
Yeah. He does play those type of characters well, man. Yeah, he. Those type
you know, when I was watching,
I was exposed to him was in. Just lost the name of it. The show on HBO where they were in jail.
Not Orange is the New Black. Oh, what the hell is the name of that damn show? But it was basically the same thing.
Well, it was mostly
but it was the men. What the hell was the name of that movie?
There's
a show. The name of that show.
One of Oz,
because he was in a wheelchair, right?
Yeah, he was the dude. No, he was pretty much the narrator of Oz. You saw him most of the time in the beginning and in the end of the show, of the episode, and he was in it too. He was in it, his character was in there, but he was pretty much the narrator of the show. So, okay, and the last couple that I'll do here They have who is this? We did best original screenplay already. Did that. Oh yeah, we're pretty much down to the end of this one too. So yeah, man. So that was Critics' Choice Awards. It's not really part of the awards run. Like when I say at the top of the show is award season, because normally we got the big what's considered the big three would start off with the Golden Globe Awards,
then the
SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild, and then of course topping it off with the Academy Awards, aka the Oscars. So a lot of times if you can get a Golden Globe, it kind of sets you on the path, so to speak, to possibly grab
get
one
a
of those.
SAG.
Yeah, get a SAG award. I believe the SAG award is going to go to Angela Bassett as well, because everyone knows in this business, Angela Bassett has not been given her flowers as much as she should be, especially with awards. So I could see her definitely winning the SAG. I don't know about Academy. I don't know if they're going to.
Well, they're gonna give. I'm gonna tell you why they're gonna give her a SAG. They're gonna give her a SAG because people are kind of were kind of annoyed with Ryan for killing her character off. I wasn't mad at it. I thought it was brilliant.
It had to happen to progress the story.
Yeah. So I thought it was a brilliant move. It was a very risque move. But in order to preserve life, one life must be given. That's kind of the role of how these comic book movies work. Like when Killmonger came to Wakanda, the only way he was gonna get in there with no problem, he had to come with the body of, you know what I'm saying? He had to come in with Claw.
Yeah,
it's a life for a life.
For life, and the bottom line, it had to happen to progress the story because of where
it's always to progress the story.
Was so that's you have to at the end of the day, you have to respect it. And of course she trusts Ryan. She trusts Ryan too. She's like, hey, she wasn't happy with it at first either. She just thought that might not be. She trusts Ryan Coogler, man. He knows how to tell a story.
But also, Angela, are you really trying to be around 3 to 4 years from now for another movie?
She want that check. She want that check, my nigga.
Well, she can come back and visit in the astral plane.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you always got a chance to catch another check. Man, what are these people, bro? What is with the football this year? Man, these guys are sustaining some hard injuries, man. This guy just got hit to the head. Oh, it's basically got clotheslined from the back, though. Clothesline from the back of the head, back of the neck on a play, and he's laid out on the field. But it doesn't.
Well, this is tonight's game?
It doesn't matter, though. The Bucks are getting, I think it might be time for Tom Brady to hang it up. Bucks are getting their asses handed to them by the Cowboys. They have.
Oh yeah, the Cowboys had to come back. Nobody was expecting them to come back, but because Tom Brady, according to the stats, Tom Brady is not good on grass with winning. Well, the Cowboys aren't good on grass against Tom Brady, so I guess they must have shut that down.
Yeah, they destroying them like 31-6 or something like that.
Wow.
I ain't even getting the end zone.
Yeah, Tom ain't coming back after this one.
He may. That's the problem with him. He's so competitive. He may come back because he don't want to end it like this. But it's like, Tom, you should have ended. You should have retired when you won the Super Bowl.
Listen, my thing is, if they wasn't letting Kaepernick back, they shouldn't let nobody back. It's like, if you say you gone, you gone.
Yeah. Now they're out there. They're all standing around this guy. You know, like why this has been happening so much. Now they're all out there on their knees. Now they're all on bended knee praying for this guy. He got his. You can see from that hit, his neck snapped forward. It was like a clothesline, and like, and he just snapped forward.
I guess that's who did. Who hit him?
I don't know. I was a defender, but Thomas.
I hate looking at this. 31-6.
Yeah, boy, 31-6. So now
they know that they're gonna walk back to the room. It's over.
What'd you say?
Yeah. They call them. They're gonna call the game.
Oh, they're calling the game because the game is over anyway. They ain't got a chance to win it. Here comes a cart. At least it's a cart, not a damn ambulance coming on the field together. But yeah,
this is gonna be the year. You know what's gonna need to happen? I don't mean to switch gears, but what's gonna need to happen with this, man, is these quarterbacks are gonna have to step up. These quarterbacks and these receivers that are getting these big checks, they gonna have to be the ones to really go on strike, to be like, nah, B, there needs to be some equal protection under the law with this. Because like, you know what I'm saying, guys is literally could be, one day on the field Gucci, and then the next day the rest of his life is just washed.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But congratulations to the Cowboys because they're about to win. They're going to move on, and they will now play. All right, I think just off the top of my head, I'm not looking at any brackets. They're probably going to play.
I think I play New York. They either go to Philly or they go to New York.
I think New York goes to Philly because they're still the lowest remaining seed left. So Philly has to play the lowest remaining seed. So the Giants will go to Philly. So that means the Cowboys will play the 49ers, I guess. Yeah. Cowboys will be playing the 49ers. They'll have to go to San Francisco and play the 49ers because the 49ers was the 2 seed. So, yeah.
This is bad. Like the game is stopped and they all out on the field. It's bad.
Yeah.
I hope this guy is not paralyzed.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, boy, before September come, get ready to get them yellow flags hanging off the sides of the players.
And they better not.
It's gonna be flag football. They be like, nah, B.
Watch flag football. I can't watch that. Yeah.
We are not about to pay out the kind of money y'all talking about paying. Y'all dipping in our pockets. Like y'all starting to dip into old money now. Some of this new money became old. Like,
man, yeah, this guy, they still out there. They haven't gotten them on the cart yet.
They probably trying to figure out how to move him.
Yeah.
Has he moved?
Yeah. Yeah, they got him up there.
They got him up there. We'll know if he's good if he sticks his hand up in the air, gives us the thumbs up. Sometimes I think these guys forget, man. They get so wrapped up in playing, they forget that you're trained, conditioned human missiles that can inflict serious damage.
I mean, it was a tackle. I mean, I don't think it was meant to be a dirty tackle or nothing, but it was just.
You said it was from behind?
Because the guy was, diving at him to tackling him, he may have, like, he tried to catch the ball. I think he kind of twisted his body, but yeah, the guy ended up hitting him, and it was like basically his full like forearm, like almost like a clothesline. You know how you would do a clothesline to someone's neck, but think about that. Yeah, right. Do that to the back of the neck, where it made his head snap this way forward.
Listen, and that could even be more dangerous, especially if you stick your leg in front and you come with the full pressure from behind the neck. Yo, they falling flat on their face. Ain't nothing they can do about it. They can stick their arms out the brace. They might break their wrists because they going down hard. Like you going down right. I had a mean brother, and it don't tickle. It don't tickle.
You keep. There's a new show called The Company You Keep. It's like it looked like to me like a new version of like Heart to Heart. You know what I mean? Like it was,
look at Eli. Look at Peyton's face. Like they playing the game.
Yeah. What's the point? What's the point, bro? What's the point? It's 2 minutes left in the game. You're down by almost 30 points. You're down by 20-something points. It's less
take
than
the L. Take the L. Let these people go.
L is coming regardless, bro. Just come on off the field. It's going, but they're gonna finish it up. Yeah. Oh, you watching that ESPN Plus thing, right? Where they got.
I'm watching it on. I guess that is ESPN Plus.
It's like ESPN2, ESPN Plus. It's like a virtual experience or something like that. They got like, I know Eli and Peyton Manning was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dion at one time. I don't know if he's still there.
No, it's just Peyton and Eli. And Peyton is shaking his head. I can't hear what he's saying, but I know but I can hear it in his undertone. Why are these niggas still playing ball? Get them off the field.
Right.
What are y'all doing? The game is over.
Game's over, bro. So you're gonna throw a touchdown and pad your stats. That's pretty much what you're doing. There's no reason. I know it's like, I want to give up. I want to play Tom Brady wants to play to the last second. Well, guess what? There's no point in trying to play now. And he stepped out of bounds, I think, this guy. Oh, but he got it over the thing for it. And then they go on for 2.
Going for 2? I thought it was over.
Nah, got 2 minutes left, bro. It's 31-14. So basically, they got to now kick an onside kick and try to get the ball back. It's a score again. It's too late, buddy. Anyhow, that's pretty much that. So that was the show. I mean, that was the that's how the Critics' Choice Awards went. Next week we'll come back. We'll talk about some more stuff going on. I think I'll have some guests next week. I'll confirm that midweek, and we'll keep it moving, man. And I want to thank everybody for jumping in the chat room. Saw a lot of people today jump in the chat room that I haven't seen, period, in a long time. Some people from my childhood. So I appreciate y'all jumping in and saying what up. What's up, John? We appreciate you coming through, checking us out. Joseph Tanner, of course. Shout out to the people that did come through. Like I said, from my past, you got the Bucks got the ball back. They did an onside kick. My man P. Donald came through. Gwen Russell. Whoa, I'll see it. Very cool. Very cool. Karen. Who else? A couple other people. Bruce Penn was in the building. What up, Bruce? He was in the building earlier. He's the one who said no more Martin Luther King films. And yeah, man. So happy birthday, Dr. King. You know what I mean? Thank you for your service, sir. And Everybody will catch y'all next week. Peace out.